When it comes to creators selling their products on Instagram, one of the best ways to do it is stories. Unlike paid ads, it's free, and unlike organic content, you're not relying on it having to go viral to generate you those leads. You're targeting already warm people and just simply converting them using a simple framework. And this is what thousands of creators are doing to make tens, if not hundreds, and even millions of dollars every single month using a framework just like this. So in this video, I'm going to perfectly break it down for you. Now, when it comes to selling on Instagram, there's only 3 things that you really need to know. First of all, you need to understand a little bit about psychology, because sales is psychology. The second thing you need to understand is the story algorithm on Instagram. And the third thing you need to know, obviously, is how to sell. So getting straight into it then, no fluff here. So in terms of psychology, we're going to use something, a certain framework that is called HSS. So when I say HSS, I am referring to hook, story, and sell. Now the goal of these, the hook is obviously to grab their attention, the story is to provide value and build rapport, and then the sell is to get what we want, which is the lead generation or the conversion or the purchase, whatever way we want to call it, right? Now, we also have to consider though that we need to optimize our strategy for the Instagram algorithm. Now there's 3 things that when it comes to stories specifically that Instagram value the most. The first thing, number 1, the most valuable, is going to be a rewind. The second thing is going to be a press and hold. And the third thing is going to be a comment, or should we say reply, in the case of a story. Now, quickly, I'm going to break each one of these down to you so you fully understand how to use these. So a rewind is fairly obvious. When you're on Instagram stories and you click that back button and you rewind to start the story again, or when you go to the next story and you swipe back to go see what the previous story was. So if we use a really engaging hook, we can actually get that rewind. And what type of hook could this be? So you know the sort of post where, I don't know, let's say it's a fitness influencer, it's the first one that came to mind. Let's say you've got a fitness influencer and they're posing in front of the mirror, and in the bottom you post like a really small bit of text, right, that everyone's going to look. So how it's going to work is they're going to process the entire story, see what's going along, and then they're going to see this tiny bit of text. As they see that tiny bit of text, the timer is then going to switch and they're going to go to the next story. That person is going to be like, oh shit, what was that text in the bottom corner? They're going to swipe back, or they're going to click back, and they're going to rewind. So that's how you use a hook to get you the rewind point, shall we call it, for Instagram. The second thing is the press and hold. This is the second most valuable thing. So when you're viewing an Instagram story and you want to read the text that's on there, you press and hold your finger on the screen. That stops the timer at the top from going, and then you can read the text. So by us implementing this HSS framework and having a story part as our second or the middle section of our story, we then get that press and hold by ensuring that there's more text on the screen than there is time left to read that text. So then that way they have to press and hold, or they might even rewind, which is even better if they do that. The last thing is the S, which is the sell part. Obviously, how do we get them to reply? Well, we're going to say DM us, whatever it may be. And then that way we're getting loads of people swiping up. And what are the benefits of this? Well, if your story is hitting all the algorithms, you know, the average person maybe follows 1,000 people on Instagram. So you're competing with all those people, not only to get your organic videos in their feed, but also get your story to be the first in the pile. So how do you do that? Well, that's going to be by hitting these 3 points here. So if you get a story that has a lot of rewinds, a lot of press and holds, and a lot of people are swiping up and commenting, your story is going to rank first on all of your followers list. So that's why by having an actual strategy that not only works on a human psychological level with HSS, but also then implements with the story algorithm, is how we can get high in the algorithm and do something that converts. Now, to give you a little example of what this might look like, use a fitness influencer, for example. You know, story number 1, the hook, like I said, is going to be him posing, for example, in front of the mirror, and you have a small bit of text that's hard to read in the bottom corner. Most people are going to miss it, but know it was there, so they're going to go back. The story then could be you diving deeper into, you know, one of the key reasons why you started fitness, for example, you know, the struggle that you went from and the journey that, you know, how it's changed your life, all that good stuff, selling the transformation. And then once you've took them through that journey, you can then have your last story as a sell, so once you've told that story. So if you'd like to start my one-on-one coaching program, I have 5 slots available for the rest of the month. Swipe up and reply one-on-one to join. There you go. It really is that simple, guys. Like, that's genuinely it. That is the whole Instagram strategy that you need to sell with any creator. Now, the third point that I've not touched on yet is going to be how to sell. So once you've provided this framework, right, there's a couple of things you can do. You can either give them a lead magnet, so the final, and this is all in reference to this final sell slide or story. So you can give them a lead magnet. So for example, swipe up and comment fit to get my lead magnet. You could, and my favorite thing to do is have the appointment setter in the DMs that he's then speaking to. The appointment setter is going to qualify and then book them in for a call, and then the closer is going to close. And then the final way that you can sell on that final story is you could either go for a tripwire, or what they call is like a low ticket product, for example. So this would be like, I've just launched the final story. The sell part could be, so I've just launched my $27 ebook explaining how to exactly fix problem from the story section on the previous part of the story. The middle S could be, so I've just launched a $99 product, but if you're watching this story, you can get it for $17. Swipe up and reply 17 and I'll send it you. So those are like the 3 easiest ways, low friction ways that you can quickly sell using this framework. So again, this is a very fast and quick video, so I'm just gonna briefly go over everything. So you need to understand psychology, and people don't like being sold to, so we're going to use a hook to get their attention. We're going to use a story to build rapport, and then and only then, once we've done that and took them on that journey, then we're going to sell to them. How does this help us with the Instagram algorithm? Well, the hook is going to make them rewind, the story is going to make them press and hold, and then the sell is going to get them to comment. And then how do you actually get them to sell, and how do you convert them? Well, you can either give them a lead magnet, you can either have an appointment setter who's going to qualify and book them in, or you can either directly sell them a low ticket product and then later upsell them in a month's time, for example, to your high ticket program. And that right there, guys, is a super simple framework of how you can sell with any creator on Instagram stories. And that is it, guys. Super simple, super quick video. Again, I feel like I dropped a lot of value in a short amount of time, so I hope you guys actually took a lot away from this. If anyone wants to have a conversation with me about anything, whether you want to know how I do what I do, whether you're a creator, whatever, drop me a message on Instagram, we'll have a conversation. My DMs are always open. I usually get a couple people message me saying, hey, can you help me with X, Y, Z? And my DMs are always open. I like having convos with you guys. So nothing to sell, let's just have a conversation. And I want to get to know you guys. So follow me on Instagram as well before you message me. Peace out, Zidane gone.